Taco Bell and Wendy's and Kentucky Fried Chicken. So they were closing at 11 o'clock during that time.
And that gas station next door.
The gas station right next door. How you know so much about this?
I go fishing there. I do.
What happened on Tuesday and Thursday night, which we have a reality show coming out called Stripper Court.
Is this on gonna happen now?
Yes.
Stripper court? Don't tell me the judge.
Yes.
I'm gonna get. Should I get another camera? I'm never really the star. I always want to be behind the camera, guys. Welcome to the Chit Ched. All right, this is what I call the Chit Ched, right? This is my studio at home where I actually edit all my videos. Right now, guys, currently we are at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, and I have my guest here, Mr. Lenny Moore. No, I mean, I need to talk to you. There's so many things we got to talk about. First of all, introduce yourself so they can know who you are.
My name is Dr.Lenny Moore.
Yes.
I'm a sports psychologist and mental health specialist for NFL players, NBA players, golf, football, all professional athletes that need somebody to help them with their mental issues, whether it be stress, anxiety, depression, whether it be sports confidence enhancement, whether it be memory, recall, whether it be focus and concentration. I'm that guy.
Okay, but they don't know you for that.
No, they don't know me for that. That's a different part of my career.
Wait a second. They don't know you for that.
No, they don't know me for that.
All right. So guys, let's just say you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Okay. Give them a timeline of some of the things that you've done along the way, because we're gonna talk, right? Because you have a book. Show them this book that you're gonna actually be showing.
This book.
You're gonna be able to see yourself there on the camera. There.
All right. This book called Confessions of a Strip Club Owner: The Butt Naked Truth. This is my autobiography of my life and times running and owning and operating the most famous strip clubs in the world.
In the world.
In the world.
Not just Miami.
Not just Miami.
Okay, so
in the
ones
world.
that I know in Miami, and my wife is outside, I'm just gonna say that I only passed through them, guys. I've never been in them. I've always seen outside of them. I thought the logo was great. Speaking of that, we're gonna talk about your logos and some people that we know in common that they might not know, and we're gonna talk about it because everybody knows somebody through somebody, right?
Of course, six degrees of separation.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about some of the clubs that you started with. What was some of the very first clubs that you started with?
Well, the first thing that got me started in the game was after I played football at the University of Miami. I was on the first national championship team, 1983. From 80 to 84, I was outside linebacker.
Oh, Poppy. Back. Let's go. Seeing stars.
So after playing football, I had went on and finished up and got my master's degree.
Yes.
And then I came back and got my doctorate degree in psychology.
Nice.
And but what got me started in the game was in 1988. I started working with my wife in the insurance business.
Okay.
And we own our own insurance company that insured special events like rap concerts and things that nobody else would want to insure.
Like a boat show.
Like a boat show.
Because it could be a chit show. I just filmed the behind the scenes of how all this happens.
Exactly.
Things happen.
Exactly.
Right? And
people get hurt and people look for somebody to sue.
Yeah.
So I insured all the concerts that went on tour around the country, from heavy metal to rock and roll to R&B.
That nobody wanted to insure.
That nobody knew about and nobody wanted to insure. So I became the man that they had to come see in order to put on their show.
So you know how people say, I got a guy?
Yeah. I'm that guy. I was the insurance guy. I was the insurance guy.
I got a guy.
So then I became very good friends with all the record label execs.
Okay.
The Leo Accords, the Jimmy Iovine's, the Russell Simmons, everybody who wanted to put on a concert tour, they came to me. And so I insured the concert. So I got to know everybody. So at that point I decided, you know what? There was no urban hip hop magazines out at the time that talked about the artists.
Yes.
And so I wanted to become like a black Playboy. So I created a magazine called
tasteful, nice.
Very tasteful, just like Playboy. 10 girls in each issue.
Okay.
Very, very, very professional shot. No spread shot, but very nice.
Yeah.
And so
which would make women want to do it.
Exactly.
Pretty women, really good looking women.
Exactly.
Right? Like you get the less crazy you go, the higher tier you can see, right?
I didn't want to be the hustler or the penthouse. I wanted to be the Playboy.
I got a confession. When Pamela Anderson came out, that was my first. I no joke. I found that lady. I see it. And there with a BB gun inside my backyard or somewhere, and all of a sudden I see a whole suitcase of Playboy magazines. Me and my brother looked at each other and we're like, struck gold, and one of them is Pamela Anderson. I was like, this is tastefully done.
Yeah.
I was 12. Listen, and that was my first moment. My brother says, ew, why does this stick? Why do these pages don't close? It's not opening.
So you remember the piece of paper?
Well, you know, when you're a kid, you don't know.
Exactly.
But when you get older, you're like, oh, damn. I want to wash my hands. Give me some Purell real quick.
Go wash my hands 20 years later.
20 years later. So, okay, so you wanted to do a tastefully.
I did a tasteful magazine called Black Gold.
Yes.
My wife was a graphic designer at first, and she started the first 3 issues. And then I found a gentleman named Frank Oliver.
Which is a friend of ours in common. Which Frank Oliver actually helped design the studio outside where we're at right now. We're at the International, Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show right now, guys. And I know it's dark in here, and you guys are getting the perspective, but this is how I hang out in my studio, and I want to get the best out of the people who come in here. You're the first person that I'm actually doing a podcast in my shed.
What?
Everybody's been telling me, Alfred, you should do a podcast. And I'm the host of the Chit Show. For those that don't know, it's a boat ramp channel. It's me at a boat show and a boat ramp, and it just gets crazy, right? But I'm always behind the camera. Now I'm getting a little bit in front of the camera.
Okay.
But Frank Oliver is a friend that we've had in mutual. I've known Frank since I was 19 years old.
Okay.
So my Frank story, because everybody's got a Frank story.
Everybody got a Frank story.
Everybody's got, you're going to probably have better ones than me.
Mine's probably better than yours, because Frank got me in a lot of trouble.
Listen. You have your Frank stories, but I'll tell you what, I haven't slept in 48 hours. And we can go with, I have my most current Frank story, right?
Okay.
Which is the 48 hours here before the boat show, and we wrap this and all that stuff. But yes, Frank ended up telling me when I was a kid, young kid, my father had just passed away.
Uh-huh.
I had a small business, and he goes, hey, let's wrap your truck. And he ended up wrapping my truck. And I was like, all right, this is vehicle number 1. He goes, no, it's not, kid. This is vehicle number 6.
I make it like you got a whole fleet, huh?
Yeah. I was like,
his ideas are crazy.
I was like, that's Frank. So Frank is Frank. He's got those stories. Frank Oliver, if you don't know who he is, look him up. I'm sure he can help you. Fat Auto Raps.
Fat Auto Raps.
You can, I mean, he's
well, I got the most famous Frank story.
Okay, so amongst the Black Gold, your wife was a graphic designer.
She was a graphic designer at first, and she was doing all the design. I was doing all the interviews. She was designing the magazines and laying them out, putting the pictures in, putting the ads in, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
And it got to be too much for her.
Yes.
So I happened to run across Frank. And
how'd you meet Frank? Where?
I met Frank when I bought my first club. Called Black Gold. Okay, that's what Gold Rush is right now on 79th and Biscayne. 79
Biscayne. I have a friend of mine that fishes off that bridge all the time.
That was my club. It was called Madonna. It was a adult movie theater.
Yes.
And I took it over and bought it and turned it into a whole strip club called Black Gold.
Black Gold. And then it became Gold Rush, right?
Well, after I left, it became Gold Rush. I had it from 1996 to 2001.
Okay, and that's gonna get us to things about this book. Confessions of a Strip Club Owner, the Butt Naked Truth. How much game do you think you can tell or teach somebody, right? Like obviously you're a doctor.
Yes.
But there's one thing to be a doctor and be street smart, and there's another thing to have game, right?
Well, this is a combination of everything into one.
So you're like a dangerous sword, right? Because there's one thing that somebody has streets, all right, and you can have street game because you just know the game and you know what works, right? But then you have the finesse of using your doctor.
So you also know. I'm a scientific clinical hypnotherapist. Which means I hypnotize people to help them to stop smoking, to lose weight, to get rid of addictions, or to improve upon whatever they want to improve upon. So I know how the intricacies of the brain work from that perspective.
Do you use a lot of that information for business?
Every day.
Every day.
Everybody uses hypnosis every day because hypnosis.
Subconsciously?
Yes. See, everything you walk outside right now, everything outside is trying to hypnotize you. Let me explain what that means. Hypnosis is nothing more than the skill set to influence, convince, or to manipulate somebody to do something. Whether it's to buy something from me, or to try my product, or to buy my car, or to listen to my podcast, or to everybody's trying to manipulate somebody to do something.
We got a product here.
We got a product. This is the new version. This is the Some Sports.
Okay. So there's not just that product. There's another product too.
The other product was what I found that came out and took over called Some Poussey.
Okay.
Some Poussey is
okay, which is here, and some people are not gonna call it the way he says it, right?
Some people gonna say some. Okay, this says Some Poussey. That means give me a hug in Australia.
All right, and that's what we're gonna call it on my channel. We're gonna say give me a hug. All right.
So the Some Poussey was the best tasting energy drink ever created.
Okay.
It was created in 2001, but I bought the company in January of 2024.
Okay.
After it had went down, and so we brought it back up. But this is the best tasting energy drink ever created. Now Frank is the one whose idea was to come up with putting the girls on the side of the can. See the girls,
which is brilliant.
Brilliant.
Which is brilliant because all of a sudden you get this and you're like, wow.
What is that? Let me try it.
And then you want to taste it.
Exactly.
Right? And then you taste it and then you're like, I'm hooked. And then you go to somebody, hey, you want some Poussey?
Exactly. So
but you don't say it like that. You say it the way
the girls at the bartender behind the bar, a guy walks, hey baby, can I have some pussy?
Yeah.
You know, that's the way Americans say it.
That's the way we say it. But we're gonna say for the camera and for this show is Poussey, and that means give a hug.
Give me a hug.
Give me a hug in Australia. So all the Aussies that are watching, big shout out to you guys.
So what I want you to do is I want you to try it for the first time on camera and tell me that's the cherry.
Okay. What's the one that you think I should actually taste?
No.
Cherry.
That's the original cherry.
Let me get here.
Give me your honest opinion.
Okay, so this is what we would consider an energy drink.
It's an energy drink.
Okay, I don't need more energy, guys, but let me tell you. Oh yeah. It doesn't taste like a.
It don't have that bad aftertaste.
No.
It don't have that dreadful crash. It's all natural. No. People drink it as a hydration tool instead of drinking Starbucks. This is what they're drinking now.
Okay.
You can mix with any alcohol too.
Okay, I don't drink certain energy drinks because it gives me hypertension.
Just don't have that problem.
And I'm worried about that because I want to kick myself in the face like I want to kick myself when I'm all said and done.
Yeah.
This is very good. Is that going to do anything to me like that?
No. It's just going to bring you up to a natural little boost. Like, damn, I feel good. I feel like I can go another 6 or 8 hours.
Okay, well listen, I'm going to drink this while we're talking shit.
No problem.
Okay, going back to the hypno side, right?
Okay.
So you were hypnotizing celebrities, people using it. Were they asking you, hey, I want you to go ahead and tell me why I'm effed up or what's the
no, everybody come to me. It's kind of like you take your car to the mechanic and say, hey, my engine is running bad. I need my tires is pulling different ways. I need an oil change. I need a tune-up.
Okay.
You give me a list of the things you think that are wrong with your car.
Okay.
And then I, as a mechanic,
okay,
I fix those things.
Okay.
But I'm what's known as a mind mechanic.
Okay.
You come to me and say, Lenny, man, all of a sudden I got anxiety. I can't sleep. I got insomnia. Or I can't remember things. I got ADHD. Or I have, anxiety. I got, depression. I find myself always worried about this, that, and other. So you give me a list of what you think is wrong. Now, what I do is like this. When you have your phone or your computer and it gives you a lot of problems, and all of a sudden you're downloading a bunch of viruses, and the viruses is attacking your hard drive and keep trying to keep it from functioning like it should do.
Yeah.
So you don't throw it away. You take it to a IT tech guy,
fix it.
And what he does, he don't take it apart. He just put it in what's called a programmable state of mind.
Okay.
And then he goes in and identify on the hard drive a list of all the viruses, sees that it's causing your computer to glitch and act up. So strategically, one by one, he uninstalls each one of them or delete them, put up some firewall, update your software, restart it, and give it back to you. You got a brand new computer.
On a hypno level.
That's what I do in your mind. So when you come to me and say, Lenny, I got hypertension, and I got stress, I got anxiety, I got depression, I can't remember things, I got all these issues. So what I do the same thing the IT tech guy. I put you in a programmable state of mind, so you look like you're asleep, but you're not. And I go into the subconscious, the basement of your subconscious where all your problems exist.
Okay.
And I strategically uninstall each one or delete them. You ever see they got Men in Black?
Yeah.
Just look at this and boom, and flash, and all of a sudden they can't remember. So if you have a fear.
How long does something like that take for you to do to someone?
90 minutes.
90 minutes. So
from the time you get there, from the consultation to the time you out the door is 90 minutes.
So it's a big difference between, say, like a psychologist or a
psychiatrist. A psychiatrist is going to give you some medication and tell you to try this, or you're going to come back and explain over and over and over and over to him until you desensitize yourself to your problem.
Yeah.
And you can basically figure it out on your own. Me, is more like psychiatry on steroids.
Yeah.
Where when you walk out of here, you're not long gonna be afraid to get on that airplane.
Yeah.
You're not long gonna be afraid, to take the stage or talking in front of tens of thousands of people.
So you had a lot of practice owning all the strip clubs you had.
See, that's the thing. Everybody think I was hypnotizing all the girls. So that's why I had the baddest girls, but no, that wasn't the case at all, Alfred.
No, I'm just saying, like I'm sure you got the. Then you got the moment to talk. Okay, so within this book, I'm sure you've talked to a bunch of ladies, right?
Yep.
And celebrities, and really people of high stature. What would you say is one of the things, or some of the things that they all have in common?
Well, everybody got the same thing. Everybody got similar problems, believe it or not. Some people just got them on different levels than others.
Okay, like I'm broke, I'm less broke. Like different problems. I make too much money. How do I do this? How do I do that?
Exactly. If I make too much money, Lenny, now everybody think I'm their bank.
Yeah.
So if my sister got kids, they want me to put them through college. My nephew want to be a rapper. He want me to pay for his album.
Yeah.
Well, everybody got problems on different levels.
Yes.
And I'm just tired of being used. As someone who's broke,
This is very good.
I told you. Not only that, it's you're going to feel a nice, calm pick-me-up. It don't pick you up and drop you and crash. It brings you up nicely, keeps you at that plateau, then lets you calm down very calmly. You're not jittery, you're not shaking, you're not,
So insurance, and we're bouncing everywhere, guys.
Okay, well,
no, but that's fine. It's
well,
fine.
from the insurance.
From insurance, I'm telling you, like insurance got you all the connections.
So I started the magazine because I had unfettered access to all the celebrities and all the rappers and all the entertainers.
Yes.
So I got to interview them. Then I interviewed them, gave my wife the story, she put it in the book in the magazine format. From there, I met Frank. Frank helped me.
Frank is a genius when it comes to like
graphics and design.
and
He's
just
incredible.
ideas, right? He's an
ideal machine.
He's an ideal machine.
So after the magazine was such a success, after 2 years, everybody said, Lenny, I need to see these girls that you featured in the magazines and live in life. You need to open a club. So that's how come I came with the idea, Club Black Gold, named after the magazine.
Okay, so that's what it was named after.
It was named after the magazine, Club Black Gold.
Do you remember who the first people were on your first magazine? When
Of course.
Black Gold? Who was it?
The first issue I put out was Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh, Bone Thugs.
When he was getting ready to go solo, we had the inside story before he even went. So when the magazine broke, with time it became hot right off the press.
There's Bone and Biggie. That's one of my favorite songs. Oh man, that's just
so from him. Then it became Guru, then Uncle Luke, then Jermaine Dupri, then Cash Money Millionaires. Then it just went on and on and on.
So they were just
to Snoop Dogg.
Literally call you like at the same time. Hey, what's up? Let me be in the magazine at the same time.
Everybody wanted to be on the cover of that magazine.
And I need your insurance to go ahead and
I was doing the insurance to cover the concerts. And I was using the magazine.
Look at this entrepreneur. He goes, hey, by the way, guess what? I opened up a strip club over here. We're not going to call it a strip club. It's a gentleman's club that you can dance.
Exactly.
Okay, so you sold Black Gold and then you opened up something else?
No. What happened was Black Gold was going so strong and so hard for those 5 years that we just owned the club scene.
Yeah.
Then 9/11 happened. And see, I was right next to immigration, which is the federal building right next to me.
That's right, guys.
And see, during the day, we would use their parking. I mean, they would use my parking lot. I had 150 parking spaces. They would use my parking spaces. Yeah. And at night, they would let me use their parking garage, which was right across the street from me, which was 400 parking spaces. Yeah. So we had it made. And then...
And City of Miami actually rolls that area.
Yes, City of Miami. And so then right across the street from me was... Taco Bell and Wendy's and Kentucky Fried Chicken. So they were closing at 11 o'clock during that time.
And that gas station next door?
The gas station right next door. How you know so much about this?
I go fishing there. I do. Ready, I go fishing there. Okay. Hey, you'll catch the biggest snook on 79th Street. Right.
But anyway.
I have my stories from there too.
So I had all that parking. But then after 9/11, boom. I lost 400 parking spaces overnight. Because they blocked off the whole street so nobody can park on that side of the street.
Yeah.
And then Wendy's and Taco Bell, everybody started closing at 3 o'clock instead of 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I had no parking, so the streets were backed up in both directions for miles.
You got heated up.
I got heated, yeah.
You got heated up and they're like, hey, you're a nuisance here because there's no parking.
Exactly. And traffic, people kept getting back and forth to work in the morning.
Yeah.
So to make a long story short,
And those places would close at 6, 7 in the morning sometimes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We didn't close at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And then some
The
people
school
still
buses can't even get up
Yeah.
down the street to drop the kids off. So my lease was up. Believe it or not, my lease was up in that January.
Okay.
So I was looking for another location.
Okay.
So I looked at another location. Ended up buying a location called Diamonds Cabaret in the Golden Glazed Interchange.
Okay. That we're talking about 95, right?
But 95, 826,
Where-
Turnpike, all intersect right there in the Golden Glazed
And
Interchange.
you call that one what?
Diamonds Cabaret.
Diamonds Cabaret. See, I didn't know that one, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just listen. I want you to watch these videos. All right, guys. I just want to make it clear. 79th Street. The best fishing you would ever do is on that place. I'm just telling you. You stick with that. And immigration is, I think, it's gone.
Yeah, immigration been closed down.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
closed the
they
building.
actually-
They leveled the
They
building.
leveled
out.
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I guess there's no immigration out here in Miami anymore. It's over.
So that's what happened. Diamonds Cabaret opened, and it became the hottest thing going.
I remember that.
That's when everybody started putting my name in their songs. You know, diamonds on my neck, diamonds on my neck.
Yes.
Then We Make It Rain. That song Make It Rain was
Yeah.
done out of that club.
Yes.
Because everybody making it rain, throwing the money. So
Throwing
Diamonds
money
Cabaret,
everywhere.
yeah.
Because there was an episode. A time, and I remember this because I would actually drive from Hollywood
Uh-huh.
all the way to where I'm at down in the south of Miami, and I remember every time I would cross there, you can see from a distance your sign,
Uh-huh.
right? And then you can see all the cars that were there.
Of course,
and
cars
you
was-
would put spotlights and shit.
Exactly. I had the big sky cannons.
I
That was- that was
remember.
like this.
I remember. This guy's a marketing genius, dude. And then I would be like, dude, what's going on over there? Like, how do you get so many cars over there?
Well, no, I got the story I can tell you right now.
Now I
Since
understand.
we can't skip from Diamonds Cabaret, from Black Gold to Diamonds Cabaret without the Frank story.
Okay, go ahead.
The Frank story started
Hey, we
out.
gotta bring Frank here.
The Frank story started out was this billboard.
Okay.
Frank said, "You got to get this billboard." I said, "Where's the billboard?" He says, "Between two of the most famous strip clubs in the world, Coco's and Rolex,
Okay.
on 22nd and 117."
Rolex was like
Rolex was the icon. It was the
that was the
OG. The staple. Exactly.
It was the OG.
Exactly.
Right? Everybody back in the days when we grew up, when
That
I was
was
in high school,
Yep.
you had Rolex
And Coco's.
and Coco.
Exactly.
But
So-
everybody would talk about Rolex, right?
But that's when the billboard was on 22nd and 119th.
I remember that.
Coco's was on 7th,
I do remember.
10th Avenue and 119th, and
Yes.
Rolex was on 27th and 119th.
I do remember.
So Frank, let's put the billboard right in between, so people going between them, they'll see the black gold billboard. I said,
Oh.
okay, cool, let's do it. But when Frank did the design had 3 girls. Okay,
Oh, man.
the 2 girls on the side had on, they were standing up, they had the bikinis, but they were covering up.
Okay.
The girl in the middle was on all 4s, and you can see from her. And
So wait, so-
the people lost their mind over that billboard.
How long did it take for the mayor to call?
Oh, within 3 days after that billboard went up, I'm getting calls from Channel 7, Channel 10. I got to tell you
Hey,
that.
no publicity is bad publicity.
Listen, I'm at home getting ready to go to work,
That's crazy.
and I get a call from Channel 7 News saying, "Mr. Moore, we outside in front of your club. We want to know if we can interview you." I'm like, "About what?" "The billboard that you got on." I'm like, "What the hell is going on?"
I remember that.
They had the whole neighborhood picketing and marching in front of the club, and Frank like, "I told you to get." We got Channel 7, Channel 10,
But that's not your
USA
arrest
Today,
story, though.
CNN.
That's not your arrest story with Frank.
No.
No. Then it gets better with Frank. We'll say that. But yes, I do remember that because you did, and it was on the. It was on the.
It
news,
became the most famous billboard in the history of billboards.
and it was probably the cheapest billboard in all of Miami because of where it was. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
You probably paid pennies on the dollar.
No, we paid a good price. We paid $3,000 a month.
Oh.
But it
But
got.
where it was.
I got my buddies calling me from Iraq, from Afghanistan. "Lenny, we watching you on CNN, man. What the hell you got going on with this billboard?" Oh my God! So it became the biggest thing.
So that kind of reminds me of like what Luke and Luther Campbell
Exactly.
did. Back
Sheriff
in the
Navarro,
day.
Nick
That's-
Navarro.
That's right. So that happened, and he did that, and you actually have a relationship with him because you would.
Oh, me and Luke, I didn't shoot all Luke's concerts.
all of his
That was-
concerts.
yeah.
So it's funny how the same tactics will work, right?
Okay.
Just
Controversy
differently, right?
is-
Yeah. Listen.
But I wasn't asking for it. Frank was the one. Frank and see what happened was I told Frank and my partner, Wes Johnson,
Yeah.
the guys, the billboard is too much, and please don't put that up. No, Lenny, I'm telling you, man, if you get too much, we just take it down. I said, guys.
It's better ask forgiveness.
It's better ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Yeah.
That's what they thought.
Listen.
They put that billboard up, and oh my God, it was like somebody just knocked down a hornet's nest, and everybody just went crazy.
I'll tell you
now,
what.
people who didn't know about Black Gold want to know what the hell this Black Gold is all about. So they were coming from West Palm, from Homestead, everywhere, just to see.
So you start getting a following.
Yes.
And I'm sure the money starts coming.
The money is going. The money was great. Don't get me wrong.
All right.
So we milked it, and then we decided, okay, after we got enough publicity, we decided, okay, we're gonna take the. Oh, I didn't tell you about the city council meeting where I had to go into with it. Oh my
God. But you're a doctor. You're well spoken. You can go ahead and talk
I
to
did.
anybody. You know, and who's gonna want to go ahead and stop an entrepreneur from doing?
Oh my God! Everybody wanted their 15 minutes of fame. They had the preachers out there in the meeting. They had the high school teachers, the principals. Everybody was at this meeting.
Meanwhile, you're looking at your cameras, probably seeing them on a Thursday night there with some of your ladies, right? That's what this thing is about. Exactly. How many of these people have you seen?
Exactly.
Okay, so have you talked about people?
Oh yeah,
in here
it goes in detail. They talk about all the scumbags, the city councilmen, the mayors, everybody who had their hands out trying to get paid.
Okay, so people, you know, I'm not saying in any way that I have a certain level of fame, right?
Mm-hmm.
I try to run from the attention.
Uh-huh.
That's why I'm always behind the camera. I want to make people laugh. I want people to have a smile. That's what good vibes, right?
I got you.
That's why this is why I'm here, right? But then the more you grow and the more things that happen, the more controversy, the more favors, the more, hey, maybe we can talk privately, and then they ask you for stuff and this and that. And
of course, everybody asking for donations, contributions, campaign contributions. Yes. I can help you do this. Listen, everybody had their hand out.
Okay, so you started making a ton of money.
We did very good.
Very good. And so did your female entrepreneurs.
Oh, my dancers all became famous.
All female. What do you mean by famous?
I mean,
who? Okay, let's start off with some of your dancers from where? Where did they become famous, and what are some of their names?
Diamonds Cabaret. You got Jocelyn Hernandez, who's got Jocelyn's Cabaret.
Jocelyn from the real
Real House. I mean, Love and Hip Hop and all that.
Okay.
Jocelyn Hernandez.
All right.
Jessica Dime Piece, famous rapper. Tip Drill. Cardi B worked for me at King of Diamonds.
Cardi B.
Yeah. Black China. And it just,
so they were all dancers.
They were all
ended
dancers.
up becoming famous. So how was that evolution when they actually started becoming famous? Did they say, "Hey, Lenny"?
Oh yeah, I get talk to them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all say, they see what we mean in the documentary. What you're gonna see also.
Okay.
I took a very big interest in my dancers.
Okay.
I want to make sure that they understood that this is only going to be a temporary thing. Just like an athlete, you only got a short period of time to make money. So I would bring in, every time we had our dance and employee meeting on the first Thursday of every month, I would bring in real estate agents, stockbrokers, people that show them how to invest their money, how to buy cars, how to, buy life insurance.
The game.
Now,
the other side of the game, instead of wasting it on dumb shit.
Buying Gucci and Louis and all this other kind of stuff don't mean nothing. Yeah. No, they took their money and bought property. Some of them own several spas and health clinics and so on and so forth. A lot of these girls have become, really rich.
You just told me something privately before we started this. Somebody that got and invested in an energy drink and made $82 million. All right, I asked. He goes to me, Google something. The net worth of an energy drink of Monster is $51 billion.
Yes.
Now I understand why you're selling some Poussey and not just nothing. And we got a brand new one, which is actually a little bit more friendly, which is called Some Sports, and which is that one. Okay, which I think with this taste that I'm at, it's the same drink, right?
Yes.
Just packaged different.
Packaged different, but also have different flavors.
I could see this at any nightclub, any bar, I could put it right now outside where this boat show is happening right now.
Exactly.
Now, the sports one.
Yes.
I mean,
the Sun Sports one can go all over the world. It's very very
the market
friendly.
is huge for that.
But see, they don't want the sports in the nightclubs, the strip club. They want the Poussey. They want.
Of course, it's better to tell somebody, "Hey, you mind if I get some
Poussey instead of some sports?"
I'm gonna go ahead and talk to my wife. I'm gonna say, "Hey, honey, let me ask you a question. Can you pass me that over there in the corner?" It's a funny story. So we have a 5-year-old grandson.
She was telling me.
Oh, she told you?
Yeah.
So she's like, I gotta turn
You
the
got to
can.
move the boobs
I gotta turn the can a little bit when my grandson's around because he's asking questions.
Yeah, you
At
got
5.
See, you got that from Frank. See, Frank got that. So we got different versions.
Yes.
We got the version with the girls completely nude
Okay.
or topless for the nightclubs and the strip clubs. And you got the girls with the bikinis if you want to go more restaurant and bar.
I think you should do like limited edition versions of certain
We do.
artists.
We have it.
That's amazing.
We have it.
Because if they're limited, somebody like right now, I have limited edition hats for
Yeah.
my subscribers.
Yeah.
Limited edition. Like right now,
See what that say.
he just gave me one right now package, guys. Okay. Limited edition. There you go. GetSomeSports.com special collector's edition.
Yeah.
You see that? Now I don't even want to drink that shit. Damn, I'm losing money here. I have my jokers and all my collectibles. So these ladies are starting to make money.
Yes.
You start teaching them the basics of
What to do with your
understanding
money
their wealth.
when you're making $10,000-$15,000 a week.
Okay.
You know, you buying Gucci and Louis for $5,000 worth of handbags and shoes ain't gonna help you do nothing.
Okay.
Or you can take that same money and buy stock, or you can buy insurance, or you can buy property and make it work for you.
Okay.
And that's what they started doing.
When you would have these guys going into these clubs, when you wanted to do the clubs, because I remember when I was growing up, obviously we would do the male thing, and we would go to clubs and stuff like that, different clubs throughout Miami-Dade. None of them were like a nightclub like they are now, / nightclub. Then there's dancers at the same time in the same. So weren't you one of the person?
I was the pioneer that
started
created
that?
where artists would come to the club and people would go to be seen. Well, most strip clubs, people want to sneak in,
Yeah.
pay for a few dances,
Yeah.
and
Hide.
hide and sneak out.
Hide.
No, we wanted you to be an experience.
Yeah.
Now, my partner, who was a very good, he was a genius at that, Wes Johnson.
Yeah.
He's dead now. He died in 2014, my best friend.
Yeah.
But he was the one who helped Def Jam become Def Jam.
Okay.
He was the brains behind the scenes. So back in that days, in the 90s, in the early 2000s, that's where all the music conventions used to come to Miami.
Yeah.
The Mix Show Power Summit, the Winter Music Conference, the How Can I Be Down, and all these things would come to South Beach.
Yeah.
So what he would do is, we would take each night and dedicate it to a record label.
Yeah.
Like Thursday night would be Koch Records. They get to showcase all their artists on stage.
Yeah.
We get to play only their music in the after hours after they finish the convention on the beach. They come right across the bridge to Black Gold, and then so they're all their artists showcased.
Yeah.
Then Universal would do Friday night, so they got the Cash Money crew,
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
get to promote all their stuff. Then on Friday night you might have Columbia Records. On Saturday night you might have Columbia Records. Then on Sunday night, that's when we did the phone party. We have Def Jam.
The phone parties, I remember the phone parties.
The phone party was out.
I remember when it was
legendary.
called Amnesia. I'm actually going to take a break because I want to talk about Amnesia privately. Wait for it. Back. All right, so I remember like the whole phone parties.
Yes.
Um,
George Stoops was the manager at Amnesia.
okay, so I remember, dude, like,
That's what they got it for. They got the phone parties from me.
okay, so did they stop doing phone parties?
This-
I know it became a problem, right? Because
No, it didn't become a problem for us. We just do it every Sunday. Basically, what it was, every Sunday, we'd clean the carpet, clean the. So we figured, what the hell? Let's have some fun with it. So we had the foam cannons that had the strawberry scent or the cherry
I
scent.
remember
And so
that.
every Sunday at 3:00,
okay,
we turned the whole first level of Black Gold into the world's biggest bubble bath.
and the ladies are there half
The
naked or
ladies there
naked.
butt naked.
Yeah.
The guys would come in there, they'd walk around with their joints, holding them up so they don't get foam.
I just bought these, damn it!
Or they would put them in the locker.
How many shoes did you ruin along the way?
So the phone party became legendary.
Yeah,
And then
I remember that.
from
Not
Black-
there, but I remember that.
So from Black Gold, we went to Diamonds Cabaret.
Okay.
Diamonds Cabaret from 2001 to 2007.
Why'd you call it Diamonds Cabaret?
We wanted to change it up so therefore people wouldn't think black, was by the name Black Gold,
Okay.
that it would be, an ethnic thing. So
Okay.
Diamonds Cabaret was more, we got Hispanic, we got the white, we got the black, we got
What
everything.
level of percentage of Black, Hispanic, white would you say that you had at the time over there? Like, what
And which
would it
one?
be? At Diamonds Cabaret.
It was about 50% black, 25% Latin, 25% white. Sometimes it all depends on what night it was.
Depending on who was promoting.
Who was promoting and what night was
So
going
you
on.
had a bunch of promoters too?
No, I never had promoters.
Never had promoters?
Never wanted to promote.
You did all the promotion?
Who can promote mine
Better than you.
better than me?
That's right.
I never wanted to promote.
Good
Because
job.
what happened with promoters is that
Wow.
if they promote them for you on a Friday night, they're going to want everybody to come to your club on Friday night. Then they got another club they promoting on Saturday night. They're going to try to get your crowd
Yeah.
to go there.
Okay.
So no, we wanted it to be exclusive.
This is why you're a doctor and you guys are You're like, promoters, you ain't got game on me.
Why? How can you promote my stuff better than me? Who knows my product better than me?
Nobody. And the same thing here, right? Nobody's gonna know what you do better than you.
Exactly. So that's what we did. So
okay.
I did my own advertisement. I did my own commercials. My voice was on everything. I branded myself as the actual brand.
Ladies, working, making money. What would you say was one of the biggest complaints that your dancers would say? All right, now I want to get into the dynamics of what guys, the mistakes that guys do at strip clubs that they don't understand, like the game, right? How they got the hustle. Guys, listen up. You don't want to listen to this. This is gonna get good. Nobody's gonna tell you better info. Okay, ladies.
All right.
Ladies. You should listen to this too, because you want to know which.
You say from a dancer's perspective or a customer's perspective?
Both. Let's give them both.
Okay.
Why? Because there's gonna be ladies that are listening too, because we want to give them game.
But what we did was
Okay.
to work for me was just like going to work for an NFL or NBA team.
Okay.
If we have 150 lockers in my locker room, we're not going to have more than 150 entertainers because
Okay.
each girl got to have their own locker.
Okay.
Now, in order to work for me, you got to beat out somebody who's already on my team.
Okay.
I mean, you got to come in and compete. And the girls who are working for me,
So you made them compete and
Of
they'll
course.
lose their locker.
they'll lose their job.
Ew.
You got to be at the top of your game.
So
because-
you're running sprints every day. Let's go, ladies. Jumping jacks.
It gets worse than that. Inside the club, we have a full gym,
Wow.
like LA Fitness.
Oh,
we have a
hell.
full length basketball court in the gym. I mean, we have poles in the back, so you can learn.
Dancers now.
So you can learn how to work the pole if you're not very good on the pole. So now we had different girls who did different things. We had some girls who were just pole that are called the angels, the flying angels. All they did was pole. They never did VIP rooms. They never did champagne rooms. They never worked the floor.
But they're high flyers.
They're high flyers. They made more money on the floor for dance for 3 songs than most people make in a whole month.
That there was people are the ones that you're like, how is
Wow,
she
like
doing
Cirque du
that?
Soleil, exactly.
Yeah.
Then you had other girls who all they did was they worked the floor. They were very good conversationists who could talk to you and listen to your problem. They're basically therapists.
Yeah.
Who you come there, they want to hear the things that you want to talk about that your wife don't want to hear about, how many cars you sold. She done heard that shit 1,000 times. You know, she don't want to hear that no more. So they would sit down and listen to you and tell you and make you feel
So is that a
important.
strategy for some of the ladies to make money?
Of course.
They just sit down and they just listen to
They're
their-
therapists.
They're therapists. What do you guys call those in the game? What are they known as? Therapists?
Yeah, they call them therapists.
Okay, you're a therapist. I was a therapist tonight. I was a therapist tonight, and look, I got $400 right now.
$40, that ain't nothing. That's one session.
I'm saying one session, whatever.
She sit down and talk to a guy in VIP. She might get up and dance for him maybe 2 songs, and sit down and talk to him and stroke his ego for another 45 minutes and walk out with $500 to $700.
How much money can some of these ladies make that they were making at that time? A night.
I got some girls, top most 40,000
$40,000 a night.
in one night. It was a girl's birthday.
What?
Yeah, I sent you the documentary.
$40,000 in one
Well,
night.
because she get on stage and they make it rain and they do the pussy stampede
okay.
and all the money that they throw on stage, she get to collect because that's her.
So you had money changers and money machines.
Oh, I had money. I had like 10 money counting machines in the back room. So when the girls finish dancing, they bring the singles in the back, give them to the house mom. They run them through the machines.
Okay,
They wrap them.
Okay, explain the house mom. Like,
Okay, house
a lot of people don't know the dynamics of like. All right, the money goes from.
All right,
the
let me explain.
dancer-
Let me explain to you.
Come on, let's go.
All right.
Give us the game. Give us the game. This is getting good, folks. Hey, listen, you better smash that like button. Lenny Moore's in here giving all the game. I mean,
Everybody works together as a team.
yes.
From the front door girl, from the valet who takes your car, it's an experience. You want to have the black gold or the diamonds cabaret or
I'm
king of
putting
diamonds.
lockers in this shed tomorrow. I'll tell you.
You want to have the experience. So when you walk in there, most guys come to the club with a budget in mind. Well, I don't want to spend no more than $500.
Yeah.
Maybe $100, a couple $100 on the bottle, or maybe $300 on dancing.
Okay.
But when they walk out of there, they went to the ATM machine 3 or 4 times, and now they know that
they got a $1,500 or $3,000 bill they ran up.
What does the ATM machine say it's under? Frank Oliver, Fat Oliver.
Unlimited entertainment. They might have some name that you can explain.
The car wash.
But see, that's another thing. You come to the club, I got a valet service who will take your car if you want to get it washed and waxed. They'll wash and wax it for you. I got 5-star restaurants, so you got steak dinners and filet mignon, whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you tell your wife I'm going to get my hair cut and get the dinner and to get my car washed. You ain't telling you come to the strip club to get it done.
Yeah.
So you got a haircut from the barber, you got the car washed and waxed, you bring her some steak.
Was there food involved also in all?
Oh my God, my kitchen would do
good food.
the best food you ever get is at most of the strip clubs.
Okay, so then Diamonds Cabaret, then what happened after Diamonds?
King of Diamonds.
King of Diamonds.
Yes.
Okay, so you open up King of Diamonds. We're mentally now in King
Okay,
of Diamonds.
November 2008 is King of Diamonds. Grand opening.
Big.
66,000 square foot, the biggest strip club in the country at the time. I mean, we got 40-foot ceilings. 60-foot
This is when all the
ceilings.
rappers start talking about your...
Everybody's rapping about King of Diamonds, everything. There's 150 songs being made.
Because they want to play your music while they're dancing at your place.
Well, what happened was that we also had Sunday night. The first Sunday of every night, we had new artist showcase.
Okay.
So if you're a new artist who want to get seen or heard by an A&R rep or a record label, they know to come there on Sunday night and listen to that, because now you got the showcase. You got kind of like Dance with not Dance, but American Got Talent.
Yeah.
You got 10 minutes to put on your best show.
Yeah. You gotta compete.
You got to compete because everybody's there.
And there's a crowd right there, right?
It's packed, 3,000 people.
Okay.
So you got to put on your show. If there's an A&R rep that might like you, you might get signed. You might.
Money comes from the customer.
Well, what happens is that if an artist come to me and say, "Hey man, I want you to play my song."
Okay.
Now I got to
Give
play.
you money?
They don't pay me. I want the money.
Okay.
Because the girls. I got 5 stages.
Okay.
And girls gonna dance on these stages. And people pay customers. Customers like to throw money according to what songs they like or Jay-Z or whatever they feel.
I need you guys to close the door. And nobody here right now.
So
I'm doing an interview. Sorry about that. Okay.
So
Sorry guys. Guys, sorry I can't.
So what happens is that if you come to me with a new song nobody ever heard, and people listen, like I got girls in VIP, they're dancing, and people like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
I've never heard that song before.
Yeah.
So you messing up the girls' money.
Yeah.
So in order for you to get me to play that song, get the DJ to play the song, you got to get $500 and go and tip each stage so the girls don't lose no money.
Oh.
So once you get.
So the girls didn't mind.
The girl don't mind dancing to your song they'll dance the zippity doo dah or the Star Spangled Banner if they get making money.
Here's what you need.
So once the artists pay them and they like it, they might request it later on. And the DJ he's picking it up. So this is a new thing coming out by ABC artists, whatever.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden it's blowing up. And back then, you could call the radio station request songs.
Yeah.
It's not like it is now, but they just play whatever they want. Before you know it, also you got A&R reps, you got radio programmers, you got DJs in the club.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? I like that song.
Crazy. I would have never known that.
Yeah.
Then they start giving the money like okay, so the customer gives the money to the girls.
Yes.
The girls get the money. Where does that money go?
Okay.
Does it go to their pocket? Does it go to?
Yes. Let me explain it to you. In my club, all of my bouncers and my guys called money sweepers.
I'm almost done with this, by the way. I feel good.
All the money sweepers, girls never been down to touch their money. That kind of like lower class. And when you got to been around and pick up singles, but there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes the girl might have $3,000 on singles on the stage. She can't be down on her knees. So we had the guys. We had guys while they come off the stage and getting dressed at the bottom of the stage while the next girl waiting to go on. The street sweepers. Or the street money sweepers, they put all the money together and put it in these big tubs or these big canisters.
Unbelievable.
And then they take the money with the girl up to the house mom. I have 5 house moms.
What do the house moms do?
House moms make sure the girls have costumes, make sure they look good, that the hair is right. If they got a button that popped off a outfit or whatever, or something tore, they fix it. They also have sanitary wipes, napkins.
So they're brutally honest. Hey, baby, you gotta go ahead and
Exactly.
clean up.
Exactly.
All right.
They tell them
maybe you should go home. You're looking a little off.
you're too intoxicated, or she notices everything because she knows her job's on the line. She lets somebody come down, and they're not together. Because I'm gonna say, why did you let her come down?
Yeah.
You're not paying attention. You're not doing your job.
Yeah.
Also, we got other house moms who, when the security brings up the money, they count it, put it in the wraps, put it back up to recycle it. And so if they got girls, say she made $1,000, she take the $1,000 in singles and give it back to her in big bills.
Okay.
So she's not walking around with no. Instead, she put the money in her locker. And she go back downstairs. She freshen up, get her hair done, makeup, wipe the sweat off, freshen up. Now she's going back down for another set.
Okay, so that's already on their pie. They already got their money.
They already got their money paid from that. So we already know what they made at that point.
At that point.
Yeah. Then they go down again and they come back up. So we know what everybody's making at any given point in time.
Would you like something else to drink?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure we're cool. Okay. Wow. And then when you had all these famous artists that now are famous artists.
Yes.
And they were dancers and they're very attractive women as well.
Yes.
Were they on top of their game when it came to the dancing, or were there better girls that made a lot more money than them?
Oh yeah, you always got some girls who you're gonna be your top girls. Some girls who just money.
What would make the girls the top girls that you would say are the, like, let's just say the baddest, like the baddies, the one. What
I give you an example. The girl. I got one dancer named Vanity.
Okay.
Okay, Vanity was everything.
Okay.
From the looks, from the stage performance, from the costume, the gift to gab, to talk to you. Like you come down, you got $500 stack at the side of the stage. You throwing a few dollars here and there. She'll come over and dance on you, put everything on you, on your face, wrap her legs around you, interact with you, and then she'll take $200.
And you didn't even know.
No, she'll take $200 and bust the band up and throw it in the air on herself.
Okay.
And you be glad she did it. You know, like,
Thank you very much.
Thank you for preparing yourself for me. You know. She was just that type of personality.
So she was one of your tops.
She was one of the tops. I got girls like Platinum. I got Tip Drill. I mean, these girls could climb the pole and you like in awe, like, what the hell? Girls who would set their heels on fire with the sparklers, you know, and then light them up, and you see these world-class pole competitions. You like, then I had the area where the girls wrap themselves up in the curtains and do all the. So every day it was a different show. Monday night we had the world famous Monday night fights. Like when they say King live on Sundays, King of Diamonds Monday.
Yes.
King of Monday
was like a big night.
That's the boxing. Monday night
night.
fights. It was the most famous night in the country at the time.
Yes.
Well, we had Floyd Mayweather, who was the sponsor for that night.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was boxing.
Yeah.
Where we had girls from Miami don't like the girls in Atlanta. Girls from Atlanta don't like the girls from Tampa. The girls from Tampa don't like the girls from Jacksonville. So y'all want to sell it out.
So you would have,
y'all can fight it out in the ring.
Yeah,
but they had to be in the same weight category.
Okay.
You know, you can't have a girl weigh 120 pounds fight a girl weigh 150 pounds.
Oh, that's
so we have them fight it out. And then all the money they make when people throw it on the stage, they get to split. So they might split $5,000 while they're selling their beef.
Yeah.
So they might become best of friends. Then
that's crazy.
What happened on Tuesday and Thursday night, which we have a reality show coming out called Stripper Court.
Is this all going to happen now?
Yes.
Stripper court?
Stripper
Don't
court.
talk to the judge.
Yes.
What?
I didn't show you the trailer.
No. Okay, so you're going to be the judge. Are you going to
I'm the judge. Yeah, and you got to see the trailer.
All right.
I got to give you the trailer.
That's what I call a chit show.
Yeah. Well, what happened is that Tuesday and Thursday night from 6 o'clock to 9 p.m.
Okay.
If you got a case that you want to, for some reason you don't think you got your fair split of the money, or you got a grievance with another dancer, or
I'm gonna watch this.
Stripper court is wild and crazy.
Would you say there's an element of women that are on the ratchet spectrum, like they're ratchet, and then are there like the higher class?
Of course,
like the ones that know how to hide everything.
There's levels to everything in the game.
What's
manipulation?
What should a guy look for, right? Like the game, right? Like if you're walking into a club like yours for the first time, what would your approach be? You're walking in. What's the first thing you do? What don't you do? Give them that game, because I think that's interesting.
Well, what do you that's in the book.
Oh God! You gotta read the book. This is a
no. Right here in this chapter, it tells you how to date. It tells you how to date a stripper.
All right.
It gives you all the. I'll give you a summary right now.
Give me a little summary.
See, how to date a stripper.
Okay.
Now,
is it hard to date a stripper?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You gotta understand something. Let me explain something.
All right.
A dancer, if she's average, let's say she's an average dancer, she's probably making $4,000 a week.
Okay.
if she's average.
Okay.
Now, if you're a guy walking in, want to date a stripper, and a lot of guys want to walk in and fall in love with a baby. I'll take you away from this. You don't need to do this. Now, this girl's making $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
Now, you probably making, let's say you're making a six-figure income. Now, you're going to take her.
You ain't changing her life.
She's making $4,000 a week.
Yeah.
Now, she can go out and do everything. That's cash money. She can buy whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Now, you want to stop dancing, so you're going to take care of her.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the money. She likes that crowd. It's like a rock star.
Yeah.
You like the roar of the crowd more
Yeah.
than you like the money and the fame.
Yeah.
You just like the feel. So you take her away from that.
She's a performer.
She's a performer.
So it's hard to get her out of that element.
So mentally, now, every time she want to go shopping, she got to ask you, I need $1,000. $1,000.
Yeah.
Because that's what she spends when she go to Aventura Mall.
So you just gotta wait for her to get old enough so she.
You got to wait for her to want to stop, then you
Yeah.
try to force her to
Yeah,
stop.
yeah.
So now, you don't want to, you're trying to upset somebody. They're probably not going to a professional football player and say, hey, I want you to stop playing football and become an insurance agent or CEO.
He's like, you're crazy.
I mean,
Yeah, you're crazy.
you can make more money over there, but no, I
and
feel
you like
like
it.
I
You
like
what
it.
you do.
You like it.
That's right.
Exactly. So a guy trying to take a girl from that is a different perspective. Now, keep in mind, if she's pretty, she's heard every line you can think of.
Is there any line that nobody's thought of?
I can't think of every line that.
What's the worst line that somebody has always said? That
Baby.
you've heard it all.
Baby, you need to let me take you from this. You need she's like, come on, man.
That's the one that let me free you from this.
Let me take you from this. You should not be doing this.
Oh, that's and then that's almost in a degrading way because you're like reminding her in your eyes that you're seeing this as a degrading thing. Right?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, in my eyes,
That's what she's probably seeing. Like you see this, like if it's something bad, but you're here
Exactly.
with me,
Exactly.
spending money on me, and it's not bad, right? But you're here with me.
But see, to me, every dancer is an entertainer. I look at it being an entertainer more so than a stripper. She just happened to
It's
take
a
her
talent.
clothes off. It's
Yeah.
a talent.
It's a talent.
So it's like when you go and pay to see, Taylor Swift perform.
Yeah,
You're watching her put on the show.
yeah,
When Taylor Swift or somebody come to my club, whether it be, whatever celebrity, they're watching my dancers put on the show.
yeah.
And when you watching that show, if that girl got real talent, you in awe. So what you're doing, you going in your pocket and you're tipping her
Or
for
you're
her.
happening.
Yeah.
You're showing accolades for somebody's talent.
Exactly.
And for me personally, I love seeing people that are at the top of their game at whatever they do.
Well, see, I understand. I got 150 of them at that point. But at King of Diamonds, I had 500 girls.
So how do you manage 500 women that all of them probably don't like each other?
That's the easiest thing in the world to do.
Because
Number one, we don't tolerate fighting.
Gone.
If you fight, you're gone.
You're gone.
You're gone. You're gone for 6 months. And you got to pay a $2,500 fine to come back after that 6 months. So for 6 months, you got to go dance at Coco's or Rolex.
And then that hurts your pocket more than anything else.
Oh, now that hurts your standards. Because, man, what are you doing over
You're
here?
a doctor.
You just did King of Diamonds. Oh, my God.
What happened to you?
Can you go talk to Lenny? Don't come talk to me about nothing. See, I had dance managers.
Yeah.
I never hired girls. The
Yeah.
biggest mistake I had in my life was I hired all the girls for my first club, Black Gold.
Okay.
And all these girls were 10s.
Yeah.
And they're the hottest girls in the world. They're all centerfolds. And my partner, Wes Johnson, you said, you're a damn fool. I said, what do you mean? He said, Lenny, you got the most beautiful girls in the world. The average guy come in here, go think he ain't got a chance with these girls unless he got $100 bills taped to their forehead.
Yeah.
He ain't got no chance whatsoever.
Yeah.
He said, I need you to hire some 7s or 8s.
Give me some C-sections. Hurry up.
Exactly. So everybody, now the athletes and all these high confident guys come in, they gonna want to find these girls.
Yeah.
But the average guy, which is majority of your customers, know they ain't got a chance with them. So you gotta bring down your standards a little bit. So at that point, I said, I ain't never hired another dancer. So I hired girls. See, guys that hire girls that they want to sleep with.
Yeah.
Girls managers will hire girls they will know the customers are like.
Okay.
So all my dance managers from that point were all girls, females.
Smart.
And they hired a nice array of average, middle class, high class.
What would you say is something that most people don't know about the strip club industry that insiders like yourself would, like if you're talking to another business owner, then maybe from another nightclub that you know?
Well, me personally, I would never want to own a nightclub.
Yeah.
Because nightclubs only have, if you're hot,
Yeah.
you got 2 nights out the week.
Okay.
if you're smoking really hot, you got 3 nights out the week.
Okay.
Most of them maybe get a Friday or a Saturday, and then they're very fickle.
Yeah.
You only hot until the next club open up down the street from you, so they're gonna. Yeah. So you always got to be compete against each other. As a strip club, it's the only people that pay you to come to work.
Yeah.
The dancers pay you to come to work. They pay the bouncers. They pay the house mom. They pay the DJ. And then the customer paying you to come in. Then you get paid from the parking. Then you get paid from the food, from the kitchen. So it's the only business where everybody pay you to come in. That's why they'll never open a new strip club in Dade and Broward County. Because of the moratorium. It means that there'll be no more open. You got to buy an existing.
So let's talk about the county, right?
Uh-huh.
And rules, right?
Okay.
So in Miami-Dade County, let's just say Miami-Dade County, full nudity,
full nudity, full liquor, full friction, full touching.
Okay. At what point, right? How do you control scenarios where there's more than just full friction?
But you got to have.
How do you stop that?
You have great security. You have great monitoring of all things that are going on in your club.
When you're talking about monitoring, are you talking about cameras?
No, we don't put cameras on. You don't put cameras on.
Are cameras in strip clubs?
Yeah, cameras in main areas of the club, so therefore the fight or something going on, and you can see what's going on. In VIP and all those private areas, there's no cameras.
I'm assuming that'll hurt your business, right?
Well, you know what people,
influential people that
they don't want to be on the camera.
I don't want to be on camera.
They want to come in through the back. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be. They got the special VIP. We had special areas, so we knew if one of the top guys can't come in the club or the Shaq or whoever come in, but they're not gonna come in and say, "Hey, we got Shaquille O'Neal in the house." Now some people,
Shaq is in a special door. Come on.
Some people like that. You know, like B Wade, he love it. Hey, we had Miami Heat corner. Yeah. Where all the Heat players, you know, after every game, they're gonna be over there and they're gonna be doing another thing, but they're not gonna be wilding. They're gonna be enjoying themselves.
They're just there to
have a good time.
See pretty ladies.
Exactly. And then when they play Denver Nuggets, even though they're rivalries, they still friends from college and from high school, and they want to invite them to come too.
When we have opposing football teams over here in town,
oh, they love that.
Do you tell the ladies, "Hey, turn it up, we gotta win tomorrow," or anything? we got the Heat. We need the Heat to win tomorrow. It's a playoff game.
No, we had a lot of times, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have friends they played college with. You know, even though they played with the Pittsburgh Steelers, they went to, University of Florida, University of Miami. They're all friends. Or went to high school together. Yeah. So before the game or after the game, they come in together. The Heat players and the Dolphin players all in the same area together.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. I got people over there screaming in the backyard. I mean, the boat show, Lenny. We're gonna talk another 15 minutes. Wait for it. I'm Montaner, the Chip Show podcast. Boom.
All over the place.
I said, this is the real.
Yeah.
What people don't understand, that there's a boat show going on. Me and Lenny are having a great time in here, and everybody's getting poured on. Shh. Hey, but listen, as a person leading my team, right? I know how important these moments are, right? So sometimes everybody else got to step it up right now, and they're doing what they got to do, right? Because you need to have your time to do,
of course,
and to lead the team and pull everybody one direction.
You got different sergeants.
Yeah,
you're the general. You got sergeants that you can delegate to, so they can.
And they're gonna be walking in and out here, guys. So okay, King of Diamonds happens.
Yes,
you did all that. Unbelievable success. What involved the Frank story that you said, "Hey, I almost got in trouble because of Frank"? Because I don't want to miss that part of the story that you said that.
Oh, that's about the billboard. That was the biggest trouble I got.
Okay, that was the biggest. Okay, that's when you almost got in trouble. Okay,
that's when people marketing, not marketing, but marching in front of my club.
I might even have you beat. Look, my wife is right here.
Different church organizations, different.
Baby, you can't watch this podcast. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, I can't.
Wait for it.
Different news organizations, different churches, different neighborhoods. Everybody's coming out to like, I'm the bad guy. And then I flip it on them.
Yeah.
And I tell them, I'm going to take the girl out the middle. I take the girl out the middle.
Yeah.
And then they shoot the billboard with paint guns.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it's all over again.
Yeah.
And then I had to make them understand that, hey, this ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just an advertisement. I'm advertising my business. And I said, I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah.
I'm trying to direct some of this traffic, whether it's two famous strip clubs where everybody's shooting each other, over to my neighborhood where they can have a good time and not have no violence.
Yeah.
So,
And then, okay, so what ended up happening with King of Diamonds? What's
well,
the
what happened
story?
with King of Diamonds, it was a great run.
Okay.
Until my partner at the time was Jack Gallardi.
Okay.
Jack Gallardi was a landlord. He owned the property.
Okay.
I owned the name, and I created the whole scenario. It was called Crazy Horse before I took it over. That was very unsuccessful, had failed, and they had shut it down.
Okay.
And I had left Diamonds Cabaret, and I was looking for a bigger and better facility.
And then
I partnered with Jack Gallardi. And at that point, I told him what I wanted to do, and he said, you have free reign to do whatever you want to do as long as I'm not paying out of my pocket no more,
Yeah.
and I can make this thing make some money, and I can get some of my money back, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And we came to an agreement, and it blew up so big, it went very well, up until the point that, you know, he got ill and started having problems, then he ended up dying.
Okay.
And his daughter took over the facility.
Okay.
And she gonna try to tell me how to run my
your
brand.
business, yeah. And then you're the one who created that whole
I
atmosphere.
created everything.
Yeah.
It was nothing. It was cold when I took it over.
So where's the King of Diamond brand now?
Well, right now there's only one in Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay, and right now we can ready to fire it back up. But everything has its run.
Yeah.
The King of Diamonds is old.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna open up
So you're
Club
gonna open something else.
Club Some Pussy.
With the name here that I just drank? No!
Yeah.
No! Wait for it! Hold that up, Lenny. Hold up. Okay.
We can open up Club Some Pussies all over the country.
And people are gonna know that you're also using
Some Sports
Some
is
Sports.
our sister company that I own as well.
All right, guys. Well, listen up. We're gonna definitely talk again. Okay.
Yes.
You're the first person, Lenny Moore, guys, over here is the first person I do on the Chip Show. How do you like my studio? Is
I like this,
badass?
man. This is badass, man. And you can move it from place to place whenever they do a show. This is crazy.
Why don't we take it to Atlanta? Wait for it, guys.
Also, now you got to we got to look out for, if you go to it, go to strippercourt.net.
How do they find you? How do they find your YouTube channel?
Okay, my YouTube is Lenny J. Moore on
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay.
Then you got the Some Pussy on internet.
Okay.
Then you also got the Some Pussy on YouTube.
Okay.
Then you also have the Mr. K.O.D.net.
Okay.
Or you can look at my book. You
And
can get
what
on
book?
Amazon.
And that's a bestseller, right?
Bestseller.
Confessions
Amazon.
of a Strip Club Owner, the butt naked truth. Guys, if I want to get real dirty and get demonetized and
Hey,
censored,
you might have to wear a condom to read this. That's my buddy said.
I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. Just
This
in
gives
case.
you all the stories about my trials, my tribulation, the mistakes I made, how to be successful, not just in the strip club business, but in any business.
Okay.
It tells you about all the things I use by psychological experiences and how I use that to play and make everything I do a success.
Dr. Lenny Moore over here, guys. Fort Lauderdale. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, Alfred.
Let's go. And we have more Frank stories, I promise you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got 1,000 Frank stories. I'm going to see Frank right now, as a matter of fact.
Let's go.